Okay, so hello and welcome back to another Unity tutorial. In this one, I'm doing part 8, I think, of the FPS tutorial series. We're going to be doing a small inventory and picking up items in this video. It depends how long it takes, but the plan is to get through making a simple inventory and then adding an object that we can walk over and pick up items from. Obviously, we'll just do ammunition this time, then we can do guns in the next one or something, so we can actually pick up guns off the ground and then use them and then drop them and so on, which is going to keep building up as I keep saying every video. Start off by thanking my donators on Patreon. Thanks to Paul Robinson, Phil Baum, and Wes. Keep the channel going, then the link is in the description below. Apart from that, I think let's get into it. So last time we added the different fire rates for the weapons and ammo. I think the fire rates might have been beforehand. So for example, we've got this weapon, which is just click, and then you have to click again, so it's semi-automatic and it uses 1 ammo. Then we've got this weapon, which you hold down and it's rapid fire. And then if I was to, for example, go down here and go into guns and go and change this one to be a fire rate of, instead of 5, maybe 10, then I hold down here, it'll obviously deplete much faster and so on. So I can easily tweak the stats of weapons through here, which is nice. Balancing I don't really care about. Well, let's just get into doing the actual inventory kind of system. So I don't know what I'm going to do for the UI yet. For now, I'll just keep this ammo at the bottom left. I'll care about actual UI later. Let's go put this manager thing in the scripts for the ammunition. So basically, let's create a folder for managers. Usually when you move scripts around, it wants to recompile again to like find where it is or something in your project. But if we go to the scene, the correct scene, just go into the world. So what do we want to do? Well, we want to add an object that we can walk over and pick up, so that we're going to need an inventory of some sort. So let's go to our manager, actually, sorry. And just like we have an ammunition manager, we can add a... well, this is going to be item pickup, so we need like an inventory manager. Now, our player's inventory we could actually have as a scriptable object, so that we can save that scriptable object. It depends what kind of game you're going for, whether you actually need to save anywhere for the player's ammunition or not, or like weapons, current loadout. Because if it's like a competitive FPS or you're doing it for the sake of, you know, like different rounds of fighting, you don't want to save it, you just want to have it be gone when you've done with the round or whatever. So I guess we probably for the inventory. I mean, I can do it if people really want it, but I've already done a inventory saving kind of video before, so go back and find that if you want. So what do we need in the manager? Well, to be honest, because it's a manager and I've already gone through, just copy the starting bit. You've already seen it before. We just need to say public static inventory manager instance, and then that's set up. So the inventory manager, what do we in here? Well, to be honest, as I said, the ammunition is its own thing, and it's not actually... I guess the inventory manager would be for guns. The ammunition manager just handles all ammo for shooting. They can be separated because you don't actually have an inventory of ammunition. So, yeah, we can have that, actually. Let's just leave it there, but we don't need that this video, I don't think, really. So, what do I need to do about that? Well, we want to go and make it so that we can pick up items, pick up stuff, and then check what it is and where to add it. So we can have a pickup class, different things. So first of all, if we're having a pickup, we can have it be player walking over. That's what it usually is for ammunition. You don't actually look at ammunition, whereas for weapons, you might have it be looking at and picking up to select what you want. We'll change that if we need to. So let's make an object in the scene. We want to go and make an object on the floor, which can be some like ammunition to pick up. So we'll just create a cube, put it at 1, maybe make it a bit smaller. Let's go for 0.5, at 0.5, no sorry, at 1, still, yeah. 0.75. To be honest, this could have a rigid body actually, because it's just like a physics thing. Maybe you'll be able to knock it around if it's like... I mean, obviously if you walk over you pick it up, but other things might be able to knock it over. And position obviously doesn't matter, but yeah, whatever. Now this thing, we want it to have a collider on it, which it already does by default. And we want it to be a collider rather than a trigger, just because we don't want it to like fall through the ground or anything. So we want some code on it for a pickup, like an item pickup. Now we could honestly have completely different, because if weapons you look at them and select, whereas ammunition you walk over, they work quite differently. I don't think we'll even have a base class because they don't have anything in common, to be honest. Like they speak to different things and they interact in different ways. So to be honest, I'm just going to have a thing called ammunition pickup. Now I know pickup is kind of like 2 words, but I'll do it ammunition pickup like that. So this is going to be on any object that gives us ammunition. So that means that it'll have to know what kind of ammunition. For now, all we want to know on this ammunition pickup is an integer for like how much ammo. So now I know I could always abbreviate to ammo, but it's best to not use abbreviations most of the time so that you are very clear of what you're trying to say. So ammunition count, which is how much ammo it has, and then all we want on it is a on collision enter call. So obviously that gets called when it touches something, and we just need to say if collision.gameObject. Actually, can we say getComponent.getComponent? No. So collision.collide.getComponent. Now we have a player script, so player movement controller on the player. Now you can always check by like tags and stuff, but it's the the player's always going to have a player script on them. Now if you had multiple, I guess you'd go for either of them, but the player's always going to have a player movement control on him. Okay. So there we go. So we're saying when we collide, if the thing that we've got has that, so it does not equal null. If the thing we're colliding with does have, we know we've touched the player, and that's when we want to speak to the ammunition manager. So I want to say ammunition manager dot instance, and now we need to write a function in here for like adding ammo. Adding ammo. So we can have a public void add ammunition int, and then we just want to know the value. So int, value. So this is just the amount of ammunition we want to add. So we'll just say ammunition count plus equals value. So we'll add on that value. Then we know that the ammunition has changed, so we can then just call the updated ammo count UI function. And that's all we need to touch in there, because that'll handle the UI when we add it. So then we want to say dot add ammunition. We want to add the ammunition count of this particular thing that we've got. Now we could cache the reference to the ammunition manager, but the thing is, when you walk over this and we've done actually want to destroy the game object, I think this will just do the script. So the point is we set that outside. Now we could even set that inside somehow with auto generation, I don't know, we can do whatever, but the point is we can set an amount of ammo for this particular object, and when anything touches it, we check, is that thing the player? And if it is, we speak to the ammunition manager, add the ammo of this object, and then destroy the object. Now, yeah, as I said, the reason I don't cache this is because it's only called once, so there's no need to cache it, because it's just a single call and then you're done. The object is destroyed and we're over with. So if we made this, just give it a second. So we got this ammunition pickup script. Maybe that one gives us 20, and then if we go to prefabs, just have this cube as a ammunition pickup, and we just go put that in here, which then means we can now easily go around and drag some more. So we got our different ammunition pickups. So theoretically now, if we go back to our preload scene and we press play, we can walk over these and we should get 70 ammo now. So just to quickly test whether we can actually deplete and it's all right, if we go to the pistol and we go put the fire rate up to like 20 or something, we can then easily get through these guys. Now if I just like hold and shoot on the ground, it goes to 0 and then it stops. and if we're on 0, it doesn't actually shoot. So that works. That's nice. Now I said the things we're going to do in this video is make it so we can pick up ammo. I mean, I've basically done everything already. It's very simple. I should probably do a little bit more. So what else can we do with this? Well, as I said, we could start building the different types of ammo. So one thing we can do for that is we can have an enum for the different ammo types. So like different guns use different ammo. So we can create our own enum. So if I go to scripts, do we have enums? We don't have an enums. So create folder enums, and create a C# script. Yeah, we might actually not use enums in the end because we might use our own objects for that, but I'll explain that later. Enums are a good way to start. So we'll call this ammunition types, and when that loads, ammunition types, we'll just delete all the code and we'll say public enum ammunition types. And now we just need to list all the different ammunition types we want to have. So I could just list off different guns and ammunition types, but I'm going to keep it simple for now. We're just going to have light, medium, and heavy. So just go for light, comma, medium, comma, heavy. Light, medium, heavy. And what that means is now we can say when we have the ammunition count, we can then say we want an ammunition type, like so. And now in the ammunition manager, rather than having an int for ammunition count, we will have a we can have a list of ammunition counts for one for each type of ammunition. So the way we would have to do that, we can do it dynamically at the start, which would be a good idea. So we're going to get rid of this ammunition count, which will give us some errors because lots of things rely on that. So what we'll do is we will create a dictionary in here. So what we can do is we can have a private dictionary, which isn't Unity specific, this is just coding specific. If you don't know what a dictionary is, then I have to wait. Alas, I think I've removed the using. Ooh, no. Just let me import that. Okay, so a dictionary, as you see, has a key and a value. And how we're going to have it is the key is the ammunition type and the value is the amount of ammo. And what that means is we can have a value for every ammunition type, which is easy to use. So the ammunition manager will store, so the key is an ammunition type, comma, and the value is an integer. Now we give it a name, so we can just say ammunition counts equals new thingy. That's just to set up a new one. And then on the start, whenever we start the game, so private void start, what we want to do is we want to loop through each possible ammunition type and then create a new one of these for each. So we'll say for I is less than ammunition types dot oh, how do we do that? I've honestly forgotten. Get length of enum. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to write enum dot get name. Oh, let's just get rid of this. Enum. Why is it correcting this? Let's just let it go red, and then we have to import system. Okay. Dot get names. Type of, because it's a type of, and then ammunition types. Dot length. So that's just the way you do it. I mean, there might be simpler ways, but I have done this before. It was just a while ago. I honestly forgot. So this will get the length of this basically. There's no simple way to do it. That's just the way to do it. So we're going to loop for every ammunition type, and then what we can do now is we can then say ammunition counts.add. When you add to a dictionary, you need to pass in the key to use. So we can say we want to pass in ammunition types, but then we don't know which one we want to use necessarily, so we're just going to say I, and then comma the value. Well, we can just add 0 as a default value. Sorry, it's a list. It's treated as a list, so you have to pass in the index. Oh, I'm forgetting syntaxing for this. So we want to use ammunition types I. Oh, I'm forgetting this. So what do we want? Let me just brainstorm. So we want to get, basically, if you're looking at an enums, we have light is 0, medium is 1, and heavy is 2. So we want to basically say ammunition type 0, and it'll make light, if you know what I mean, and then medium and heavy. So enum, we want to basically pass in an integer and get the actual enum value back. So what you can do is you can put this in a bracket, so ammunition types, and then right after that we can pass in the integer, which is I. There we go, I got it right eventually. So now, and that's the right type, so that's going to basically make us in the dictionary 3 entries, light, medium and heavy, all with 0 ammo to start off with when we make the game. So if we add more ammunition types to this, it'll actually add more to this when we start the game, which is nice. So we can do that like a one-time thing. So when we add ammunition, as well as the value, we want to know an ammunition types, so ammunition type. And then what we can do is, well, I'll sort that out in a second. Let's just make sure we pass that in. So we want to pass in the count and the ammunition type, and that works. And then on here, I guess for now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave off the UI. We can come back to do the UI some other time with the new values, because obviously you don't want to have... maybe you only want the ammo of your currently selected weapon on the screen, which obviously we'll do that eventually, but this video will get too long if I did that now. So we want to add to the integer of the particular thing in the dictionary. So we can say ammunition counts, and if you pass in the key, you can refer to the value. So we can say ammunition counts, ammunition type, which is the one we're passing in, dot dot value now. Int does not contain. Sorry, this is the integer. So we can say plus equals value. So we're saying we're referring to the dictionary and we're passing in the type, so it's giving us the integer. So we're going to add the value to the value of that. So that's what that line does. And then we're going to update the UI. But obviously that's, well, actually I can call it still and just comment out that line, sorry. So that we can still call it like that. Now, when we consume ammo, we do that from the gun, okay? So if we go to the gun script, here we go. So yeah, we say ammunition manager consume ammo. Now, when we consume ammo, we need to know what type. No matter what it is, we'll have a public ammunition type, like so. And when we consume ammo, we're going to pass in what type we're consuming. So ammunition type is what we're passing in. But for that to work, the actual manager needs to say we're going to take that in. So we need to take in an ammunition type, like so. So now we need to say, instead of if ammunition count is greater than 0, we need to say if ammunition counts ammunition type. So for this, if this particular type of ammo is greater than 0, then this particular type, so ammunition counts ammunition type minus minus, like so. So we're going to reduce only from the type that we use. So I'm going to give this a quick demo and then that'll be the video done. We've done quite a bit there actually. So if I go back to my guns, so guns, and we're going to say Pistol uses light, and sniper uses heavy, like so. And we can go back to our manager, and on the thing we can put it into debug mode. Now if I press play, let me just look on here. So the ammunition, oh yeah, you can't actually see dictionaries. That's one thing I forgot to mention. You can't see dictionaries because they're not serialized in the inspector. So what we can actually do to make sure is we can still preview the dictionary in here. So for example, when I consume ammo, what we'll do is we'll put a breakpoint there and turn on the debugger. So give that a second. Go back to Unity, and let's manually just go in here and say, all right, this is giving us 20 light, and this is giving us 5 heavy, and then this is giving us let's just go for this one. This one's giving us what's it? Yeah, 40 medium, 100 light. Okay. Now ignore the UI. The UI is wrong at the moment. Oops, I've just detached that. Okay, so if I walk over here and pick this up, and then pick this up, and then pick this up, and now I go and shoot, bang, it's going to stop here, and we can now look in our ammunition counts. There's an array size of 3, and as you see, it says we've got 100 light ammo, 40 medium, and 5 heavy. Okay, so now if we take that breakpoint out and press continue, and we go back to play, we can kill that, we can kill that. Now if I keep shooting, we're going to be out of ammo. Now let's say I then go to my second weapon and do 2 shots, okay? And then now I'll go back, put a breakpoint in, and shoot. If you go back and look at the ammunition counts, it should say, yeah, we've only got 25 light now because I was holding down for ages on the pistol. The medium we haven't shot, so we got 40, and heavy we've got 3 because I had 5 and I took 2 shots. So that works perfectly. So I hope you like that video, this video, that video, whatever. I hope you're enjoying the series, following it along. It's all going well. I'm actually making pretty good progress. Keep in mind, I am obviously making this as I go along, so I am thinking during the videos, and I hope that helps you think as well, because a lot of people on YouTube seem to like cover up all their thinking and stuff just to make it look more polished, but I've had a lot of people comment, one thing they like is that whenever I come into a little problem or I forget to do something like that, that isn't perhaps common knowledge necessarily. You know, it's good to look it up and just, you know, show that you need to look things up every so often, because, you know, no one knows everything. So yeah, I hope you like the video. Obviously sort your files out if you've been making scripts like this. So ammunition pickup is it's not really under anything. I'll make new folders. Inventory manager can go in there. I'll sort it out as we go along. But yeah, if you haven't already liked and subscribed, it'd mean a lot. Help me out on Patreon if possible. But apart from that, thanks for watching and goodbye.